It is a sad day, ladies and gentlemen. Exciting, but still sad nonetheless, because today's show, I give you my final Packers mock draft of the entire offseason. That's the sad part. But the exciting part is I'm doing that because tonight is the real deal. The 2025 NFL Draft is finally here. I am so excited to cover it later tonight for you guys and to give you this final mock draft just hours before it starts. Before we get into any of my picks, let's look back at my last 8 mocks and just kind of remind you who I've selected so far. I've not done a repeat for my first round selection. Donovan Ezeiruaku, the latest. Mike Green before that. Matthew Golden, James Pearce Jr., Luther Burden, Shemar Stewart. Yuck, can't believe I did that. Mykel Williams and Jack Sawyer. If you notice something, I like wide receivers. I like edge rushers. We'll see who I got in this upcoming mock draft. Before we get into any of the content, though, show me down below with the thumbs up button. And let me know if you're excited for the draft tonight, okay? I have been waiting for this since the season ended, since the loss against Philadelphia, and now we are finally here. So if you're as excited for the NFL Draft as I am, show me down below by hitting that thumbs up button and liking today's video. Let's get into the picks. Round 1, pick number 23. The Green Bay Packers select Jahdae Barron, cornerback, out of the University of Texas. The first time in any of these mocks that I haven't gone edge rusher or wide receiver, and I do it for a guy like Barron because I think he's going to be an absolute star. If you look back at my big board, which we showed you just yesterday, I actually have Jahdae Barron as the number 3 target for the Green Bay Packers. And if you look at realistic targets, he sincerely is my number 1 because I do think there's some kind of a chance he falls to you at 23. And if so, I'm turning in his card as fast as I can. I think that Jahdae can be a cornerback 1 on this team. All right, we don't know what's going to happen with Jaire Alexander as of right now. As of the recording of this video, Jaire Alexander is still a Green Bay Packer. Now, that might not be for long, but you look at the room that they've got right there in Green Bay, and Keyshawn Nixon, excited to see the kind of steps he takes. Nate Hobbs, I think he's going to be fantastic nickelback. But if Jaire Alexander departs, you need someone to replace him. Jahdae can do that, and he can do that in year 1. Okay, he had a phenomenal season in Texas, and I've got all the confidence in the world for him to be a phenomenal pro. Let's go to round 2, all righty? I got wide receiver Elic Ayomanor out of Stanford. 6'2", incredibly fast as well. I really like a ton about Ayomanor's game. And if you talk about my big board video just from yesterday as well, guess what? I had Ayomanor on that as well. My number 9th rated target for the second round looks, and that's really because I had a lot of cornerbacks on that list. Obviously, if you go cornerback round 1, you're going to take a couple guys off that, and Ayomanor slides up just a little bit. I want to tell you a little bit more about him. 6'2", 206 pounds. He runs a 4.44 40-yard dash, lightning fast, and when he went up against the Heisman Trophy winner, the soon-to-be number 2 overall pick tonight, 13 catches, 294 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Absolutely torched him. Alrighty. I think this guy has all the potential in the world. I think he's one of those second-round selections that can come in year 1 and fight to be one of the top targets in this offense. Okay? And we've said it before, I'm going to say it a million other times. This team needs help on the wide receiver side of the ball. I have so much confidence in this offensive line, in Jordan Love, and Josh Jacobs. But it's filled with a bunch of wide receiver 2s. Ayomanor could be the difference in that if he ends up in Green Bay. Now, before we go on any further, I want to know, who's going to the draft tonight? Artie, will you be at the NFL Draft? I wish I was going to. Unfortunately, I've got to cover it right here in the Chat Sports Studios, so I will not be in attendance. But I know for most of you guys, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump down the street. So you let me know in the comment section if you'll be attending tonight. Let's go to round 3 now, shall we? Jack Sawyer, edge rusher out of Ohio State. And there's a lot of things that I really love about Sawyer. You look at the statistics, and like a lot of them kind of jump off the page, especially when you look at the pressures with 64 and the tackles at almost 60, which is really impressive to do from a guy who's, I don't want to say clearly a pure pass rusher, but like when you're an edge rusher and you're really good at getting to the quarterback, and you could also rally 60 tackles, I'm going to be incredibly impressed by that, alrighty? Jack Sawyer is one of those guys that you want in your locker room. He's one of those guys that you want leading your team. He's been that for Ohio State for the entirety of last season, for the entirety of their playoff run. And speaking of that playoff run, what I love most about him is he played his best ball when it mattered most. All right? Think of the game against Michigan at the end of the year. Now, I know their offense didn't play very well behind him, but he was an absolute dog. And then think of the playoff run. Game against Texas, forcing the fumble against Quinn Ewers, goal line, almost a tie ball game, nada, because of that guy, Jack Sawyer. Let's stay on the defensive line for round 4, pick number 124. Give me Ty Robinson, defensive lineman out of Nebraska. And if you've watched any of my mock drafts, there's about a 95% chance that I've picked Ty Robinson because I absolutely love the prospect, okay? I feel like I've mocked him 100 times. He screams Green Bay Packer to me, all righty? A Midwest boy, played his time in Nebraska, was an absolute beast there. You look at his statistics from 2024, 7 sacks from the interior, 42 pressures from the interior, almost 40 tackles, 13 tackles for loss. I think there's a chance this guy could have some kind of a J.J. Watt-esque type career in the NFL. That might be a little bit of an overstatement, you know. J.J. Watt's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but still, I think Ty Robinson can be something special. I think him and J.J.'s games are very, very similar. Coming up, I got 4 more selections for you. The 5th rounder, the 6th rounders, both 7ths, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you stick with us. But before that, make sure you guys subscribe for the best draft coverage on YouTube. Alrighty, I'll be doing a video right after the pick is made. I'm going to get it up as quickly as I can. Then we're going to look at some day 2 draft targets. We're actually going to do a day 2 mock draft as well. That will come out tomorrow morning. We got you covered over these next couple of days. They're going to be busy. They're going to be crazy. We got every pick right here on the Packers Report. So if you have not yet, join us today by hitting that sub button. Alrighty, let's go to round 5. Antwaun Powell-Ryland, edge rusher out of Virginia Tech, is the selection. And APR is a little bit like Ty Robinson to me. I've absolutely fallen in love with him and mocked him a ton because he is my biggest sleeper in the 2025 NFL draft. Like, bar none. If you ask me for one guy, and I've been asked a ton over the last couple of weeks, every single time without fail, I'm going to say Antwaun Powell-Ryland. He's got the production that I love. 16 sacks, 48 pressures, 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 43 tackles, 19 of those for loss. So he has the production aspect of it, but I also love the fact that he's got the athletic traits to go with it. He's quick. He can beat you with speed, beat you with bend, also overpower you. He's got so much to his game. Really, the only knock on it is he's a little bit older, around 23, but still, you're getting him in round 5, pick number 159. I think that's an absolute steal. In fact, I love him so much. If they were to select him in the 4th round, I'd be like, oh, sweet, let's run it. Okay? Absolutely love the prospect of Antwaun Powell-Ryland. Let's go to round 6, and let's address the offensive line now, okay? Give me Colby, offensive guard out of Iowa. Now, Colby had kind of an up and down 2024 season, but like I look at this current room that the Packers have in their offensive line, and the interior is going to be a little bit of a trial and error type, I think, okay? I know I'm confident in Zach Tom, Rasheed Walker. Jordan Morgan apparently is going to get some looks at left tackle as well. But Aaron Banks, you paid him a lot of money to come over from San Francisco. He didn't do much there. Sean Ryan, it's got to be a question mark as well. Jordan Morgan, we'll see if he can step up and actually play in the interior and play a long time. So, if anything, I think Colby in the 6th round can just be a fantastic depth piece. And if that is the worst that happens, then you know what? That's not that bad for a 6th-round pick. He's a phenomenal run blocker, which I think is a really good thing, especially when you look at who this Green Bay Packers offense is, who this Green Bay Packers offense has in the backfield, and just how this thing operates, alrighty? I really, really like this selection. I think he could be a great depth piece for a team that kind of needs that, especially on the interior of that offensive line. Let's throw it back to the 1st round. Alrighty, I picked Jahdae Barron. Who was your prediction for Green Bay's first round selection? Let me know because it's happening tonight. This is your last time you could call your shot, and I want you to do it in the comment section right now. You got 2 7th-round picks. Let's spin the first one of them on a running back. Give me Tahj Brooks out of Texas Tech. I really, really like Tahj Brooks in his game. Now, he is a little bit older, which I think is going to be one of the things that, I don't want to say hurts his draft stock, but if he wasn't as old, I think he'd be going a little bit higher. But just look at the numbers that he's been able to put up over the last 4 years, especially the last 2. Back-to-back years posting 1,500-yard seasons. 27 combined touchdowns in 2 years. Over 575 carries in those 2 seasons. Now you can look at that, you can spin it the negative way and say, Joey, he's got a lot of tread on the tires, which you're not wrong. But what I love about Tahj is that he fits perfectly in this offense because he is so similar, in my opinion, a great pro comp to him is Josh Jacobs. Exact same height, 5'10". Both about 220 pounds. Both run incredibly aggressively. Both can have little flashes of speed, okay? I like Tahj Brooks, and you know what? Josh Jacobs, he's on a long deal, but would like to have a little bit, of more confidence on who is behind him. All right, that's our first 7th-round pick. Let's go to the last one, the final pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, my last mock draft of the season. Give me Ricky White, wide receiver out of UNLV, the University of Las Vegas, from Sin City to Green Bay. And I believe White can turn into something really special. Now, I'm not saying he's going to turn into your wide receiver one day because these 7th-round picks, they rarely do. But if you look at what White was able to do over the past 4 seasons, sure, one of them being at Michigan State where he was but once he transferred over to UNLV, especially over these past 2 years, he was phenomenal. Over 2,500 receiving yards combined in 17 games, 19 touchdowns. He does have a little bit higher drop numbers than I would like, especially when talking about this Green Bay Packers wide receiver squad. But I think he's a guy that could turn into a 7th-round pick from a 7th-round pick and do a guy that Jordan Love has a lot of confidence in. You look at the next year, you look at the free agent options, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson. You're not going to pay all those guys. You need some guys to still be here when they go in free agency. Ricky White, I truly believe, can be that. Alrighty, that's it. Final mock draft of the entire season. Let me know how I did in the comment section. I know you guys all will. I don't even have to ask you to do that. But let me know if you're rocking with us right here on the Packers Report by hitting that subscribe button. Again, we'll have the best draft coverage all starting tonight. Hope you're there to join us.